Good morning. It's Saturday morning and I'm out here ready to go. Well, kind of. I'm still drinking my breakfast. I did a little walk through the garden. There's some things I need to take care of. I started some water over on the crepe myrtles to let that run because this week our water heater went out. So Jose needs that hose and a little bit to drain the water heater inside. So I'm trying to get that done so that he can use that and I'm not in the way. Yesterday I went to get chicken feed and scratch and sunflower seeds and all that stuff. That stuff is still in my car. So I got to get all that out of there this morning. I'm over here by the chicken coop and it's shaded over here. You can see I'm right by this little kind of boneyard we have over here in the back. But there's still shade over here. There's actually still shade on the garden right now. So right now is the perfect time to do anything that's really going to get hot. So, but before I get started, I just wanted to say hi, say good morning, remind you guys that I'm Nikki, this is Scratching the Dirt, and I'm not sure what today is going to hold, especially because of the water heater. We'll see if Jose is going to need my help in there or not, but otherwise there's definitely garden cleanup and I got to get all that stuff into the chicken coop, the feed and all that. And then we're going to go from there and see what we do. I don't actually have a plan, which is usually a bad thing. If I don't know exactly what I need to do, then I'm going to wander around and just do random things all day and then feel like I didn't do anything at the end of the day. But maybe if I'm going to sit here and finish my breakfast, finish my shake and see if I can come up with a sort of plan for what I need to accomplish. So let's see what happens. Let's talk about okra real quick because I just went and harvested and I have not harvested okra in a few days. And this is what happens. This is the reason why everybody tells you to harvest okra every single day or every other day at the very least. Because I've got, some of these are still iffy. This is about the size where I usually would try to harvest the okra. I know it's small and I've read before that around the 4-inch mark is where you want to try to harvest them. Because after this they just get tough and hard and they're nasty to eat. I've actually tried to use them before and I just don't like it. I know some people do, and that's great because then you don't waste as much okra as I do, but I don't like it when it gets real big. So right next to the microphone I just squished it to see if you could hear, like if you can hear it starting to crunch like that, it's too tough for me. These, I mean, this is, I have big hands for female. This is my whole hand. It's way too big. So we're not going to eat this. And what happens is I end up just growing compost because these are too big. The chickens won't even eat them this big. So I got to try to do better about harvesting my okra more frequently. You can also tell, sometimes I'll take it all in and I'll go, when I go to chop it, you can actually feel the difference in one that's perfectly ripe and one that's overripe and too tough. You can actually just feel it in the knife when you cut through. You can hear it and you can feel it. So I love okra. I love to eat okra. I love growing okra because it's a great Texas crop, but it is kind of high maintenance in that you do have to keep your eye on it. Otherwise, your okra are going to get really, really, really big. Hey, so today hasn't turned out exactly like I expected it to out in the garden. So I'm inside because Jose got the water heater out and drained and all of that jazz. And so now he's gone to purchase the new water heater. While he's gone, we live in a really small home. It's only 640 square feet. So we had to move some stuff around to get through the whole house because it's in the back of the house, the water heater, and then we needed to take it out through the front door. So anyways, while that stuff was moved, I decided instead of going back outside, I'm going to stay in here and I'm going to clean where everything was before I put anything back. And then while I was doing that, I this bad boy. So this is we have a stackable washer and dryer. This is our washer and dryer. But this thing, if you flop this little door down, they have this little filter in here. And what I did, I should have thought to record this while I was actually doing it. But the instructions, you can see the instructions show you to like get a little pan and drain this. Well, this tube is literally only this long. So it's not going really into a pan. And I thought, well, it can't be that much water, even though I've never done this before. I just got a couple of hand-sized towels, so just hand towels, old ones. And I came down here, I pulled the tab off, and it started leaking water. It filled up like 1.5 hand towels by the time it was done dripping. So it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as much water as I was expecting. And then I'll pop that back in because I've already actually done the cleaning. And then all you do is you twist this. This is your filter. Now, I didn't get real precious like I never do. This didn't have as much gunk on it as I was expecting. There was a little bit of hair. There was some of that like sludgy stuff. And I wiped this all down. And then I went in here and cleaned this out with like just a towel. I just cleaned it out a little bit. And then you just put this back in like this. You put the hose back where it belongs. You shut the door. And your washing machine filter is clean. Well, what did I do here? Y'all, look at this. Like, let me show you how to do stuff. And then I can't even get it closed right. But my filter, which has never been cleaned, we bought this washer and dryer in January of 2023. Sorry, like what year was that? It was January of 2023. So it's now the end of July 2025. So 2.5 years, and I've never done that before. I recently, 3 months ago or so, realized it needed to be done. Because I've never had a washer and dryer like this before. I've always had like old school stuff with like the agitator in the middle instead of this front load where there is no agitator. So I just didn't know. But once I figured it out, so it's been kind of in my brain, but I thought it was going to make a massive mess. I thought there was going to be water everywhere. And so of course I was like, I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to do it. But while I was cleaning this up and I was like mopping this floor, I thought, well, shoot, now's the perfect time to do it. So I did do that. This is kind of what I'm doing today. I also realized that Jose had to clear out our closet in order to get the water heater out because we live in a manufactured home. The water heater is in like kind of a little section of the closet that's got a wall in front of it that pops out. So the closet had to come undone. We also had a water heater insulator blanket thing on there because we don't have great insulation in our home. So in the winter, when we get those, once a year, we get a hard freeze that lasts a day or two now. So we had an insulator blanket on it. It had exposed fiberglass. So he took everything out of the closet and we were really careful about getting that thing out of there. But all my clothes are on the bed right now. And so I'm like, perfect. I'm going to go through my clothes and I'm going to do a little closet clean out. Since they're already pulled out, I got to put them back in. So I'm going to stay inside for the hot part of the afternoon. And then I'll go outside tonight in the evening when it cools down to see what I can do out there. But I did get the chicken stuff taken out of the car and all of that. I did do a little bit before I came in this morning, before Jose needed my help with the water heater. But that's where we are. That's what we're doing. So this is a little different. I don't usually do a whole lot of stuff inside. But I don't know how many of you guys have washers and dryers that have these little doors on them where there's a filter in there and you don't know that you need to clean it. Well, now you do. You can be with me and do it for the first time ever. I came out here and the girls just started yelling at me. I don't know what they're doing. When I come over here, they come stand in this corner and look at me. Maybe they're begging for treats. I don't know. But there's the girls today. It's already pretty late in the day. I'm just getting outside for the first time. And I'm going to start, maybe finish. I finally decided to do something with this bed. So these little bit of carrots that I have left, and I'm giving up the fight. And I'm going to prep this bed so that when we get ready to put something else in here, obviously the goji berry will stay. The gardenia, I want to move it, but I don't have a spot for it yet. So those goji berries, those are going to stay, but everything in the front is going to come out. So I'm going to hang out here with the girls and then see how much of this bed we get done today before it gets too hot. Because like I said, it is late. Look, isn't she pretty? Hi. Hi, girls. Just a little chicken break real quick. Look at her. Just standing there. Oh. Come over here. It's one of my Australorps down there. Pretty Wyandottes. Okay, let me get busy. See what we can get done. This is why I'm glad I'm giving up on these carrots. This is the size of these carrots. And they've been in here since March or April. Either way, they should have already been full size and harvested. So this is a good move to give up on this and start new over here. But the chickens are getting quite the treat. I've already thrown some in, or taken some in. So they've got carrot greens. They love the green tops. So they've got that they're snacking on. I'm going to throw this last bunch in. Keep going. Every time I try to catch a butterfly on the flowers, they always fly away. And I got her. Look. It's the little things out here. She's just loving life on the zinnias. And I'm actually getting film. I was sitting down taking a break because I just moved a bunch of soil and stuff. And there she was. So I snuck over here. She flew away. And I started filming the bumblebees on the salvia. And she came back. And there she is. Little butterfly friend. Now she's really close. So here's where I'm going to put in a picture of the before. And then here's the after. I went in and pulled all the carrots and all the weeds out. I did a little bit of trimming on the goji berry down at the bottom. There was a couple of massive weeds growing back in there. So I got in there and cleaned some of that up. We have this little gate. It's part of a trellis thing that I took apart. It's just there to kind of keep these things back because they were growing over into my lettuce when I had lettuce in here last year. So I'm just going to leave that there, even though it's not doing anything right now. And then I came in and I added soil. And now I was running these sprinklers to make sure none of them messed up when I moved them. And then over here, I added some soil to this bed in some spots. I needed some more right there. But I didn't want to go bust another bag, so it'll be fine. With this soil, it'll get dispersed around a little bit. I added some here. I added some over here and up underneath the sage. And then I moved this pepper. It was over here in this corner behind the coleus. I moved it over here to catch that. I don't know if you can see how this sprinkler is shooting water out and it's hitting the pepper. So I just set it there so it would get watered every time this gets watered. And I shifted the coleus so that now that part of that sprayer is actually hitting the coleus and getting that water. So not much, a big difference though. Now this is kind of a clean slate and ready for whatever we decide is going to go in here next. I will keep it watered so that It doesn't dry out completely, and then when we do plant in it, it takes forever to try to get it rehydrated. Plus, on this watering system, if this runs, and so that's fine with me. I'll keep the soil moist. Let's go into the coop real quick, or the run. So a couple of things. I took all of the baby little carrots, carrot greens and weeds and stuff that was in that bed out there. I threw it in here for the girls. Jose was moving the fire pit, so he took some of the ash out of that and brought it in here for the girls to dust bath in. And then I'm bringing this in here and just throwing it here right now. This is, y'all, don't laugh at me, but this is the old water heater pan. We had to replace the water heater yesterday, so we got a new pan. And this one, when Jose had it outside, I was like, huh, I think I could feed the girls stuff from that. So I washed it out a little bit and then brought it in here. So next time they get like leftovers or something, I'll put it in that pan and see how they like that. But not much happening over here in the run today. I scared them off. Now they're coming back out here. I say, hi, girls. Just a few of them. Some of them are still inside. There's one over here. But that's what we've done so far, or I've done. Jose's been working on other stuff.